My name is Jamie Becker-Finn. I'm the owner of Makwa Coffee here in Roseville, Minnesota. I was born in northern Minnesota in Bemidji. Actually grew up in a small town, Cass Lake, on the Leech Lake Reservation. I'm Ojibwe descendant, grew up there. My family's lived there for generations. I ended up leaving my small town for college and have an undergrad degree from the U, and then I'm actually a lawyer. So I'm a licensed attorney. My other job is that I am the state legislator for this area. I'm the state representative, so I've served in the Minnesota House for the last 7 years. And then I also teach part-time at Mitchell-Hamlin Law School. My dad and my uncle owned and ran 2 convenience stores in my hometown. So I'm sort of used to the small business hustle. Everything I do is really around community building. It's about bringing people together. Being located in more and more of a neighborhood, especially now in the summer, we have like people walk their dogs. Like we have a bag of dog biscuits behind the counter. When I work a shift, like a barista shift here, I know at least a third of the people who come in. You know, it's people who live in our community. They're people who live nearby or have worked nearby. We're definitely in a neighborhood. I love our location and it being a little less traveled, even if it sort of bucks the traditional advice about a coffee shop. I really like bringing those natural elements into things. Like I did not want it to be like this industrial type of place. The original space, I hated the floor. And that was like the first thing I thought I would need to change. Adam was like, that's going to be really expensive. And also I think if we do these other things, you're actually not going to hate it. I knew right away that I wanted to do the free library shelves. And so yes, they're part of the decoration, but they're also a free library. It is really cool to have people sort of like, oh, they're kind of looking, and then to be able to tell them like, oh, it's a free library, if something looks good, just take it. I really loved that I was able to sit down with Sydney and Adam and like tell them how I wanted it to feel when people were in the space and have them like get it. I wanted to bring in natural elements, you know, with the wood. We have a lot of plants in here and things like that. And I also knew that I wanted to be able to have like soccer watch parties. And I'm especially passionate about women's sports. As a mom of kids who love sports, I could, but I don't bring my kids to a bar. And there really aren't non-bar locations to watch sports together. And I just think that sports are better when you're connecting with other people. So like behind, like there's a TV in here, and I knew I wanted the TV, but I also knew I didn't want people to walk in here and be like, whoa, TV. That's not the vibe that I want on a daily basis. I know like the back corner area, the space when we moved into it already had a fireplace. I explained like kind of the vibe I wanted for the fireplace was like Hogwarts common room. We redid the tile around it. It's a lot like warmer and more inviting, and being able to explain those things and have like professionals who get what the heck I'm alluding to with my weird vibesy discussion of how I want to feel. Those chairs are always taken. Even in the summer when the fireplace is not on, the thing we wanted to feel inviting to people, like that's always the first place people go to sit down. People also comment on the wood. It really is the warmth of it, and knowing that like it was stained by hand with the energy that was put into it. Cabinets were custom built. I love them. The guys who built them, like we really got to know them over the course of them building them and putting them in. And it's funny, they were like, we're now like very addicted to coffee. Even though I was hiring NewStudio, it felt like we were a team. I felt like every single person I worked with at NewStudio actually cared that it turned out well, whether it's because I'm native or because I grew up in a small town. Like I'm very relational in the way that I work with people. As we did the work, it felt like a thing we were doing together. They genuinely wanted me to be successful and they wanted it to look good and feel good. It really felt like we were a team instead of like just some people I'm paying to do a job.